what did you do then? The other group?
I went with him.
To
And
Interlaken.
also jumped into the lake.
You did as well?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, of course it was. Which is tricky, you know, everything appears to be hot, but the water is super cold.
Yes.
Yeah. And the other group, where have you been?
We went to Bordensi.
To?
Bordensi.
Bordensi, okay.
Yeah.
What did you experience? What happened to you?
We take the ferry going around the lake
Uh-huh.
and to visit Mainau, the island full of flower.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so that was a beautiful experience. The next day we go around. We went to I think it's kind of like getting lost. We went without any direction, and so we end up in Austria,
Yeah,
and then to Liechtenstein, and then come back to Germany.
that's perfect, wasn't
And we
it?
have a small checking on Sunday to Amp. Yeah.
Beautiful.
He forgot another that is very beautiful location, Stuttgart. Yeah. We visit Stuttgart first during our in
This is what you told us. You want to go to Stuttgart. Huh?
yeah
Okay.
on the first day.
You like the city because normally Stuttgart is very industrialized.
Yeah, we went to Schloss
Mm-hmm.
Schloss. So actually, it's just like its name, just a palace and a square. And it's not really like Frankfurt. Frankfurt is more like historical.
Yeah.
Stuttgart, I guess it was historical before, but now the building is like quite new and
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stuttgart
very much
was
was destroyed.
destroyed.
Stuttgart was
Yeah.
very much destroyed, unfortunately.
But I
Yeah. Yeah. But any day, anyway, I wanted to say it's great that you try to make the best
yeah
of your stay here. Yeah, that's wonderful.
to get more experience.
Yeah. And this is the beauty of traveling, right? To get to know the different environments and people, and really nice. So I just shared with the first group who was almost in time this morning that yesterday evening I got some text messages from your colleagues from Vietnam, from 2 colleagues, and they were just asking questions, you know, and I was wondering because it was already early evening, so in Vietnam it must be 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. or something, yeah.
Yeah.
So already late, but I liked it, and I just want to pass on that if there is something, you know, we are a group, you know, we are close. If you're back home and something occurs and you believe I could help, that's no issue. Just text me, and I will try my best to answer. Yesterday it was easy, yes. 2 questions, and yeah.
Can I guess the one who sent you message is Miss Phượng, right?
Actually, there were 3 people.
3.
Yeah, and they were not coordinated, so which is good. Yeah, so everyone is. Yeah, but you know, it's Sunday, and your guys are working on Sunday, preparing something for Monday. I don't know. It's really fantastic. Of course, you need a good work-life balance, but obviously they are so motivated and very good, really good people. Fantastic. Yeah. So for tomorrow, for this morning, and for tomorrow, it's all about KPIs, right?
Yeah.
Or PIs, or metrics, or NPS, or CSI.
What is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
After tomorrow afternoon, you will know everything by now. Okay.
Gen
And
system or something.
yeah. There's net promoter score and things like that. So the idea is that what we will do is first, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure that you know everything about it, and it's kind of in German we would say, or in Greek, it's kind of carrying oals to Athens. Have you heard this before? Carrying oals. Oals.
No.
This bird.
Ah.
This very wise bird.
Yeah.
As if you carry oals to Athens, the city in Greek.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, and some thousand years ago,
Yeah. No,
Athens
still
was
now.
one of the city with, as one of the cities, very first cities to have a currency, and it was in silver, and there was an owl on it. And because Athens or the Greek people were so wise and knowledgeable, if you carry old to Athens, it means you bring knowledge to people who already know,
Yeah.
and normally more than you yourself, okay? So, of course, you know a lot of things, but I would try to, as a start, understand with you together what is a KPI, what is a metric, what is the difference, and so on and so forth, yeah? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Wonderful. And you, if you have a question or something, jump right into it, okay? So we need to go back just quickly to understand what is the GAM, performance areas, okay? Because I think your organization is very much oriented on the implementation of aspects of the Global Air Navigation Plan, right? So it's always good to refer to that. And what Lee promised on Friday, I hope that you didn't forget, I'm traveling so much, is that he will support us in building on your specific VATM cases. So as you did so perfectly on Friday morning, and again, thank you for that, we would really try to focus as much as possible on your needs. And therefore, this is kind of theory, and you suggested to bring up your master plan. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can have a look at the master plan, what is in there, what are the priorities, and then to split into work groups and work out KPIs or whatever is suitable for your priorities. Yeah? So this is the idea. And you will do this on paper again, and we will take photos in order to document everything. Yeah. So these are, again, just to remind you, the key performance areas, 11 as such, and to understand again what is meant by the one or the other key performance area. So, for example, access and equity means no aviation community member should be excluded or treated unfairly. What does this mean to you? Do you have an idea?
I think it's like in the Chicago Convention that we have to like there's no discrimination in any kind to other allies.
Absolutely. So this will be also interesting for your colleagues coming for the airspace classification course, because through airspace classification you pass on your aviation policy, right?
Yeah.
So, because depending on the airspace classification you bring up, you can discriminate a lot of aviation community members, right?
Yeah.
Or not.
Well, actually, we can outlaw some kind of aviation activity based on classification. Actually,
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is the idea of the classifications, right? Could be also remotely piloted aircrafts or autonomous flying aircrafts, right? To be integrated fairly, which is kind of something. ATM, UTM to integrate is quite a challenge.
yeah.
Yeah. Capacity, I think that's self-explanatory, right? Okay. Normal capacity easily scalable with demand. This is one point, and I think this will be a topic for you for this morning and maybe tomorrow. Then it's about disruptive events. Yeah. And I was talking to Mr. Hang, and Mr. Hang was saying about emergency response planning, to be prepared for threats and even these disruptive events that should not significantly affect the performance of your system. So this is the idea. We have cost effectiveness. So if your boss says we need to become cheaper, do more but cost less. If this is an issue, yeah. There is a KPI for that. We have to look at it. Efficiency. When we were talking about, for example, a better airspace design with procedures that allow continuous operations, be it descent or climb, so this would improve the efficiency. Or if you talk about the en route part or en route phase, to be as close as possible to the Great Circle line, so this would mean efficiency for the airline, right? Burn less fuel, reduce emissions and all this stuff. Environment, I was just talking, burn less fuel, less emissions, less noise, whatever it is. Flexibility, here it comes to topics like when we talk threats, FRTO, TBO, trajectory-based operations, to increase the flexibility, flexible use of airspace, this stuff, quite challenging. Interoperability, extremely important when you talk about trajectory-based operations, and you know that enablers are enhancement of flexibility and route. Swim must be implemented. This all goes along with interoperability. Participation by the ATM community, pre-agreed level of participation to make the maximum share of the use of the airspace and navigation resources. Here it's a lot about collaboration. Predictability. There shouldn't be too much variability. Yeah? All the assets you have should be available as much as you as possible. Here we're talking about with our engineers about what could be a good PI or TPI, but be careful. TPI, we will learn what the difference is. Safety, of course, okay, and security. So these two things I do not need to go further in detail. It's not mandatory. It's all about performance, and this is super important. No one should tell you the Global Air Navigation Plan says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have to do. Yeah? This is only true for the basic building blocks, because the basic building blocks, again, tells you something about the essential services, of, let's call them minimum services. These are the annexes, right? 1 to 19. These have to be in place. This is mandatory, full stop, nothing more. No one should tell you, this is what we have to do. No, we don't have to do that. We shall do it if we benefit from it. Okay. Again, no one should tell you that all blocks must be implemented to become a leading organization. Yeah. This is not the case. You can increase your performance like hell, and you will become the leader of your region or even more without implementing all blocks. Really, you have to really use your best judgment and go into it. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Now there will be some awful slides because full of text. But as I learned, the slide, you will get the entire slide deck, so it will be part of your documentation. And back home, you can read it. Okay. So this is the document, the 9883, which is important to understand when you want to build your performance indicators or what it is and how to monitor on according to ICAO-CAM. Okay, if you go. It's always good to say yes. There's a reference 9883. I did this. Yeah, it's in accordance with or something like this. Sorry, Mr. Hahn, do you have a question?
No.
It's good. Please disturb. Jump right into it. So these are the awful slides. Yeah. It's too much text. Okay, but doesn't matter. It's just for you to understand. So it tells you what is the notion of a performance-based navigation and so on and so forth. And that the performance-based approach is not easy, yeah? And it always requires a strong focus on the results you want to achieve, okay? It's not about implementation. Of course, you can agree with your leadership on a performance monitoring that includes also the degree of implementation of whatever, yeah? If he tells you, I want to have so many airports being equipped with something, yeah? Then it's not about performance, it's just about providing evidence. Yes, I have introduced ILS here or Cat 2 here or whatever it is, yeah? So number of airports equipped with, yeah? This is a metric, yeah? This could be a good number, yeah? Even a performance indicator. Yes, you asked me to equip 10 airports with this infrastructure, and I did so in time, okay? Mm-hmm. And I will show you examples in Europe where this is part of the performance monitoring report. Yes, 37 airports of 70 have been equipped with. Okay. That does not tell you anything about the performance increase at these airports. It has been just okay. Very good. Yeah. Another awful slide. Awful. Yeah. Okay. But it just tells you it needs knowledge, and this knowledge has to be shared. Yeah. So what, if you go to the document, yeah. So what you do right here is exactly what you desperately need to do back home with more people involved. You remember that we talked about that. Now. And do not underestimate. You may be the expert in whatever it is, right? And you will talk to a person who is not an expert in your specific field. But this person is a well-educated and respected member of VATM. She will have an idea. If she doesn't have an idea, she will don't speak, yeah? She won't speak. But if she speaks, listen, yeah? It's always good to become a different perspective on something, okay? Yeah? Sometimes it's awkward. I found myself with the managing director of our technical department, right? And we had the head of communication with us. And we were talking like that. We need to listen more, and even if people don't know, just listen to them. Yeah, and so we sat together, and the head of communication told me, yeah, perhaps we can increase capacity if we allow the aircraft to land from both sides of the runway. And then we said, perhaps we shouldn't ask too much. People have no idea what they're talking about. So there are limits. Okay. So, but you got the idea. Okay, very good. The 9883 does not replace any other documentation. It's a manual, yeah? So don't put things into competition. So yeah, the 9883 says that. So this is of more importance than what other documentations of ICAO say. So you shouldn't do that, okay? Very good. These are the main references, and when you get the presentation, you can click on the links and it will be state of the art. Yeah, so you can go back and forth and just understand what is important. Okay. Good till here?
Yeah.
No questions? Very nice. So you remember, this is just to remind you where we want to start. Again, another link, and you will be right here, and you can read in detail everything about it. And now we want to talk about key performance indicator, right? So, can you tell me what your idea is? What is a key performance indicator? Why do we have this? Why do we believe we need it? What do you think? Key performance indicator.
Yes.
Yes, please. I volunteered you.
I think key performance indicators is that's a very hard question for me. Can you ask me
Try your best. You will be good.
let me 5 minutes to think about it.
Okay, very well. Very well. Don't be too shy. You're good. You know this stuff. So you told me to ask whom? Mr. Lee again? No, Lee.
I'm talking too much.
No, not too much, but not too much, but a lot. So
Yeah.
we need the other colleagues to talk as well, right? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So a key performance indicator. Come on, you have an idea. Why do we need a key performance indicator?
Let me first.
Yes, please.
I think that we must have the KPI is from my view of project. The first reason is that we can find the weakness of our NS system. So the most can have some change to orient the development of NS system. Yeah.
Perfect. Just perfect. Just perfect. Okay, this is fantastic. We need these key performance indicators in order. So this is just a tool. A key performance indicator is just a tool, right? It's just a tool. Let's call it a tool, and it helps us to assess, yeah, to monitor and to assess a development or an evolution, yeah. Against a performance, and this could be qualitative or quantitative. And this is super important to take back home. Both are good. Yeah, there is no benefit in only going for quantitative. Sometimes it's really good to go for qualitative key performance indicators as well, yeah, for many reasons. Okay. It could be that a quantitative indicator wouldn't make any sense, or you cannot access the data you need, yeah, or it's too cost intensive to gather the data, to collect the data, and to analyze the data. Yeah. So there are many reasons not to do it. And this can relate to operational. So we will focus very much on operational things. It could also relate to strategic objectives. So if you have a strategy and you want to understand how you evolve against your strategy over the years, there could be a KPI. It depends on what your management is putting emphasis on. Behavioral. There could be KPI, right? Ethical. When you try to address your culture, your corporate culture, it's about behavior, right? Value-oriented behavior. How do we want to treat each other? Something like this. If you want to increase your psychological safety, you could do surveys to understand, right? So this is qualitative, right, for example. It helps to pinpoint strengths and weaknesses. So you figure out, I'm not good here. Yeah, and this is when you. I ask you the same thing. How are you doing there, in this area? Yeah. When we were talking about punctuality at airports, yeah, it was like, how are you doing at airports? Oh, this is okay. This is sometimes good, sometimes bad, as you remember. So yeah, that doesn't help. Sometimes good, sometimes bad tells you nothing, right? So you need to go more close into detail. Of course, you can check your processes, whether your processes run well. Okay. Again, a different perspective. In general, there are different types of performance indicators, financial. So please figure out whether this is an issue for you. Do you have to come up with financial indicators as well, or do you just have to order on operations?
We just focus on operation.
On operations.
Yeah.
So we will focus on operations then in the further course, okay?
Yeah.
There's customer satisfaction.
Actually, yeah, I would say it should be, but we don't care actually.
You don't have, right?
No, we don't care.
No.
Sometimes
We are only one entity, we are monopoly, so why should we care about it?
Yeah, again.
just like I said before, we don't care about our customer as well as environment.
Well, actually, that's joking. Actually, we do have to.
Bring the ATS.
We do the regular annual meeting with the customer to get the feedback from them and to improve anything that they feel that we need to improve.
Very good.
So yeah.
Yeah.
we have
Who's
to-
the customer then, by the way?
Allies? Yeah, but with the allies, we have regular meeting with only our national allies, Vietnam allies. With other other Vietnamese allies, such as Bamboo Airways or Vietjet Air, we also have some mechanism to get feedback from them. But with international allies, it's quite not regular
Okay.
feedback.
Very good. So this could be, by the way, this could be an indicator as well. If you do remember when I'm saying, for example, this could be an objective to meet the Vietnamese airline at least 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
something like this,
kind
huh?
of like that. Yeah.
For example. Okay. Who else is a customer? The government.
It's not.
No, the
No.
The government is a
They
customer.
are stakeholder.
Who we share the information with them, and we provide them the information. So I think he is our customer. We use our service.
You could call him also a shareholder because he owns you, right?
Yeah.
But to treat him as a customer, not too bad. Huh? Good idea. Who else is a customer?
Yeah, some airport operators, the airport
Could be a
operators.
customer, right?
Yeah.
You are an engineer, right? You're providing CNS services to whom?
BTS.
To ATC. That's interesting, right? So CNS,
Sorry.
No, don't say sorry. It's,
And sometimes to pilot to airline.
yeah, but the interesting thing is you have an internal customer, right? You provide CNS to ATC, right? It's an internal
The
customer.
main customer.
Hey, VATM operations, are you happy with the way I provide service or the way I react to your requests, service level 1 or whatever it is? Yeah? It's an internal customer. Let's go to Ms. Bach. AIS, right? Who's your customer?
I think
Or airport operator.
no. AIS.
AIS?
AIS. For example, airlines. Airlines, the
Yep.
first one. The second one, airport operators, and something data house. Yeah. And I think that some ANS units, for example, ATC or MED unit.
And
So there are many customers, right? You have external, internal customers. It really depends on the department or the product, right? And as AIS, you also develop ARPs, right?
Yeah.
NOTAMs, charts.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of customers, right?
Yeah, so we can divide in three level customer. The first is internal customer,
Yeah.
and the second is data transformer, data warehouse,
Yeah.
and the end user like pilot or ATC.
Yeah. So, but however you do it, the idea just of this little exercise was to understand who is my customer. Yeah, it's not only the airline. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And Ms. Bach, I have in mind it's challenging to define KPIs for AIS. Yeah. So you could have a look on a process. Yeah. What is the efficiency of your process? For example, how long does it take me to update the AIP? How long does it take me to prepare a NOTAM? How long does it take me to provide a chart? Yeah, is the chart digitized or is it whatever it is, right? So this is the process, yeah, and you could identify the process and ask, how good is my process? And I will define a KPI or a PI to understand the quality of my process, be it efficiency or what it is. And there could be a different KPI or PI in terms of how happy are my customers with my service. You see? So it's not, and this is difficult to find in GAMP. Yeah?
Well,
Okay, therefore, tomorrow we will talk about your specific case. Yeah? Today we will focus on GAMP KPI operations. You don't care or you care?
Yeah.
we must care.
You must care, of course.
no, we are not.
Yeah? It's you. And your employees, your partners, your team members, or what it is, right? So these are the people who make everything work, right? It's all about them. Everything is built on their shoulders. Okay. There's another thing. When we talk about KPIs, and this is a very important foundation as well. These are some criteria. Yeah, what you do must be relevant, must be measurable, achievable, time-bound, must be clear, must be understandable. And this is quite challenging, and therefore, I try to say it again and again and again, please do not come up with 25 KPIs. Please don't do that. Really try to find only a few. Yeah? Less is more than, you understand? It's really important. You get lost, yeah, in the desert. Yeah? You have a ton of information and nobody will be able to understand where am I actually, right? Okay. A KPI is only relevant when it's related to an organizational objective. And this, we come back to this. You remember this one? Yeah?
Yep. 23.
23. 33. Okay. 33. And the GAMP tells you a lot. It's really, as I said, it's a manual, it's a really good thing. So you do not necessarily have to make up your mind and to do research or whatever. For many, many things you will find all the answers right here, okay? And we will go to that. Now I would like to understand what is a metric. Sorry, I try to squeeze everything out of you. Do you have an idea what a metric is? A metric.
Excuse me, can you come back to the previous slide?
No, it's not the previous, it's the next one.
Yeah.
I just went back so you cannot read it. So these are KPIs, right?
Yes.
Okay, and we were talking about KPI. What is a KPI, right? So we were talking about. What is a metric?
Something to measure.
Yeah. Something to
The
measure.
standards
Yeah.
for everyone to understand the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So and this is metric and KPI is quite often confused. Yeah. And this is okay because it's almost the same. Yeah. When you hear metric, or someone asks you what is the difference between a metric and a KPI, it's almost the same. There's only one little difference. Yeah. And the one little difference is that the KPI is always connected with a goal, right?
Yeah.
So this is the main difference,
Objective actually.
or an objective, yeah. Yeah. So this is the only difference. So with a metric, it's a standardized measure, right? So you can track, monitor, assess all the aspects of your performance, like with the KPI. But the difference is the KPI is connected to an objective, and it helps you to understand how do I, step by step, achieve what I was aiming at. And the metric doesn't do that. Okay, the metric just tells you this is long, right? Okay?
Yeah.
This-
Use the speed to do this. Speed, working speed. You can take more time or long time or short time to reach the object.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You will define. It's short term, medium term, long term, doesn't matter.
The metric, I think, help us know the speed working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is this okay?
Yep.
Okay. So this is important. Do not come up with a KPI which is not bounded to a goal, to an objective, to a goal. You do not need a KPI if there's no objective. Then just go for metric. Yeah? So just a few, and you will remember that I told you Microsoft Global, 2 KPIs only. Yeah? Because they have prioritized 2 main goals. Yeah? And all the other things, just metrics or performance indicators. Yeah? It's okay?
Yep. All right.
You're not too happy, huh? You're like, oh my God. Very good? Okay. Sorry, I tried to read a little bit in your faces and understand whether you're happy or not. Okay.
So, hold on.
Yeah, bitte.
So, the magic, in my opinion, if I can find in the maybe some specific KPI,
Yeah.
so the magic is the number or maybe the rate in that KPI. And we have to develop maybe the measurement
Mình đã
of
mong
the
thì
to
đó là suy nghĩ rõ cái đấy là
how
smart hơn.
how the
Không,
magic-
không phải smart. Có clarity mà. Mình sẽ hỏi lại.
So no, not to how the metric should be achieved. As a company, you define. We will do something like that. As a company, you define a goal or an objective.
Okay.
I want to increase my performance, and you need to you need to define what you mean by this. So, I've chosen an example for this. I want to increase my departure punctuality. We will go to this. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I understand that. But for example, our KPI is reduce the number of safety incidents to 0.5%, something like that.
So this is the objective.
Yes, so
This is the objective. You want to reduce. So this is your objective, and it's time bound. You say within 1 year, I want to.
just at the end of
Yeah.
2026.
So this is your objective.
Yeah.
And then you define a KPI. Okay, and the KPI should tell you, the KPI reads not more than incidents per something,
Maybe just 0.5 per million, per 1 million.
something like this. So this is the indicator, and then you have the metrics help you to understand where you. That's a very good KPI, by the way. Very, very important one. Yeah, yeah.
KPI là chỉ số mục tiêu.
KPI đúng rồi, chính xác. KPI là chỉ số mục tiêu, tức là ví dụ anh đặt mục tiêu là
So
Okay, you have just what is the difference between KPI and metric that I would like to ask you. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So this is, I think, a good example, and this could be already something. This is more employee-oriented, but it could be internal employees, or it could be customers as well, right? So very easy in NPS. Just an example. So the KPI are tied to the goal or objective. Yeah. The metric, it's much broader. So if we want, or if we set a KPI to boost customer satisfaction, yeah. So Ms. Bach, you want to see your customers cheering and applauding when you enter the office in the morning, right? So you first try to understand what is the situation today. And this is a metric, right? So, and you do a calculation and you say, I want to understand how many of 100, yeah, will be promoters and score my quality on a scale from 0 to 10 with 9 or 10, okay? These are my promoters. These are the guys I love, okay? Then I have the passive guys, 7 to 8, yeah? How many do I have of those? And then I have the detractors, 0 to 6, yeah? Then you have a metric and you understand, aha, this is the situation. And then you set the goal. And the goal is, I want to have 75%, yeah, next time I ask, 75% should be promoters, okay? Or 75% should be between 8 and 10, yeah? But this is upon you to decide, huh? Okay? Then you have your strategic goal, and then you understand what do I have to do in order to push, yeah, for my target. Okay? So this is the idea. And this could be something, this is a survey, right? And it's a mix, it's qualitative, and you will get numbers as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Is okay? Good, well understood?
Yeah.
Please challenge me, because it's important that you take everything.
So, can you come back?
Of
So that's a metric, right? Promoter, passive, detractor, that's a metric.
Yeah.
And we can link it with an KPI like to improve the employee satisfaction up to like 80% by 2026, something like that.
Yeah.
Is a KPI, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. So this is, as you perfectly said, this is a metric that help, as the metric helps you to track the performance, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it helps you to track and monitor whatever. So you do the survey, you have this metric, 3 NPS, and you see, 50% are promoters, 20% are passive, right? Okay, I know, now I know. Yeah. If you want to do something, you have to set a KPI.
So, yeah, so actually one KPI must link to some metric, right? I mean that one KPI like the employee satisfaction, it must link to some metric to become measurable, right?
So the KPI must be linked to an objective,
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course
and it's built
yeah,
on metrics.
yeah,
Maybe like this?
Yeah,
Okay, you
yeah.
have metrics,
yeah.
and
No,
and then you define a KPI, which is
No. I mean, first we have some objectives, and then we set a KPI, like a measurable, relevant KPI for that objective.
yeah,
and then after that we find a way to measure the KPI by setting up like some
Yeah,
metric,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So actually KPI must have some like not only one but probably several metric linked to it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
So
understand.
now I got you. I try to listen very careful because sometimes it's a
Ah,
matter
okay.
of language or you get
Yeah.
lost in translation or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the point is, and please don't forget this because I was listening it really closely. You should have a problem.
Yeah.
Don't do it just for fun. Yeah. Your desks are packed. You are so busy back home. Yeah. Only do things which are of importance and you benefit from. Right. So, is there a problem? Do you have complaints? Are customers unhappy? Then try to understand. If there's no problem, focus on your problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is really important. Yeah.
Can I go to?
Absolutely. Yes, please.
Anh ơi, cái cuốn cái phần này cuốn khỏi tí đấy nhá. Phía sau lát nữa mình sẽ lên cái phần của mình nữa.
Oh, okay, okay.
We worry about
Phòng chỉ còn ai đang ở trong phòng làm mấy đứa bảo họ dịch hộ cái kế hoạch tổng thể làm ra được không?
Tâm là một cái để phải đo.
Chạy ChatGPT thôi, cũng copy paste thôi. Copy
Em
paste
cái file đấy mà.
nó không ra, nó không dịch cả file cho. Mình không có tài khoản Plus mà gọi chị Phượng đâu không được.
Trước khi mình lại tách ra.
Em cho lên nó chỉ cho dịch kiểu từng phần ấy, cho dịch
Em muốn dịch phần nào?
dịch hết luôn. Nếu không thì dịch phần ít nhất được phần giới thiệu.
Không, tức là lại phân rã xuống. Cái mục tiêu to này, xong lại ra nhiều cái metric này, và metric đấy phân rã xuống các đối thuộc tính khác nhau. Tại vì mục tiêu của mình là đảm bảo được 75% đúng không? Thì trong đấy em sẽ ra các KPI. Cái KPI đấy tại sao?
maybe 1.5 minutes.
Cái việc tuyên bố. Thì
And
cái
actual maybe 1.2. And each person is maybe monitor the efficiency.
anh cũng đang hiểu như thế. Không biết có đúng không? Đạt được một chỉ cụ thể. Thì bác phải thấy. Thì gọi là phân rã mục tiêu.
Can I? Should we do maybe the magic table like this, and then maybe the data should
Data require something
data
like
maybe, and okay, another column like this. Maybe who responsibility, and maybe the formal. Công thức tính là gì?
Formula.
Formula.
formula
To calculate.
yes.
Yes, with another column like this. Should we do magic like this for each KPI?
So this is a way to do it.
The way. Because
I'm not sure whether I would call
KPI,
it.
target, and actual, and it's a maybe description. What for KPI for what?
Yeah. I'm not sure whether I would call it metrics table. I'm not sure whether I call it metrics.
Oh, okay, because it's a table something.
Yeah, but no. You know, you can do whatever you want. You can call it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The only it's important that everyone understands. You have a common understanding. Okay. Here is the KPI. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And this is not efficiency. This is capacity.
Capacity.
Right. So you would have a table called the table, of course, table. Yeah. And then you start with the areas you want to improve.
Okay, alright.
So
Like efficiency.
and then it's KPI, and you would say, for example, you would say it's capacity. Yeah. I want to reduce the delay. So this is capacity and demand balancing, right? So the table could read KPI, and it may be in the master plan as well already. Yeah? Or part of the master plan. KPI safety. Yeah. Next one, capacity. It's always good to put safety first, of course. Yeah. So capacity, and then it might be efficiency, and then you would have a KPI. And the KPI is, I want to reduce the average delay per movement. This would be en route, or departure, or arrival, or whatever it is. So there are
More
20
specific.
absolutely, okay. This is interesting. Here is the metrics. Right? You have understood this is my current performance. Currently, I do have 1.2 minutes. Yeah? This is what you put here? And the target is to have only 1 minute, maybe. Yeah?
Yeah.
Or less. So, however, we could do this, by the way, and I'm ready to support. But this is the table you should have. But be very clear, and therefore, I just prepared an example, as we were talking last night already, about this.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I may have questions. So, how to get the metrics? The other side, that which way that we can have the root metrics for the KPI?
With RootMate, do you mean raw data?
Yeah.
The raw data? Okay.
Also,
This is a super important question. Thank you very much for that. Because to get all the data, that means a tremendous work. It's a super effort, right? And therefore, allow me to say the things again and again. Please, only a few KPIs. A few KPIs only, yeah? And the most important one. And a good thing would be, and this should be part of your exercise today and tomorrow, to think, I do have a statistic department at VATM, right? You have a statistic department. What do these people have? Who is it? Ms. Buff.
yeah.
Who is the boss of the statistic department? It's you?
No.
No.
No. I
Okay.
think exactly in Vietnam we don't have the static department.
No, we
Yeah, we
have.
don't have.
Phòng thống kê của luồng còn gì.
Ui rồi cái đấy đó chỉ là một siêu dữ liệu thôi.
So we have the
Một cái thôi.
statistic division of the ATFM center.
Just only for
Những công việc
ATM.
đấy là có, nó phân ra các ban, ví dụ ban kỹ thuật vẫn thống kê về kỹ thuật, ban luồng thì thống kê về quản lý bay, ban an toàn thống kê về sự an toàn. Từ cái công tác thống kê là thống kê theo chuyên môn đã ra, chứ
We
không
have-
phải
Nhưng cái
là một
đấy
ban.
We have
là
statistic
cho
function
safety
in
and
all-
quality thôi.
No, cho cả operation.
Không, ý là ở cái an toàn chất lượng của các phòng ấy.
Nhưng mà bây giờ kể cả luồng vẫn có phòng thống kê mà. AS bên chị có phòng thống kê không?
Nó làm
Bên
gì
anh có cái chỗ anh Đông Anh có gì? Có tổ thống kê còn gì? Chứ nó vẫn là thống kê.
Thầy muốn là cái rata là một cái.
No, not sorry. But
Nếu mà để thống kê hiện tại của mình ấy, là không có một cái chỗ nào mà chuyên để thống kê.
Đúng
liên quan
rồi,
đến
không-
cái
không có thống kê
một
tổng.
cái KPI hoặc gì cả.
Không có thống kê tổng, chỉ có thống kê phục vụ là thứ nhất an toàn, phục vụ thu tiền.
Không, nhưng mà còn làm vẫn còn, nếu mà đơn vị ấy thực ra là sẽ không mang tính hệ thống. Thì ví dụ như ở AES ấy là sẽ có phòng giáo an toàn chất lượng là liên quan thống kê các cái objective, quality objective của từng cái service.
Thì đúng rồi, thì bởi vì họ
Đấy.
thống kê
Tức
chất
là
lượng
có,
mà.
nhưng mà có những đơn vị mà họ chưa ấy thì họ lại, tức mà cái đó nó lại không link đến cái của tổng ty.
Ví dụ cái mét của mình
Có nghĩa là
không,
mình
không
có-
có an toàn, không mét có rồi nhưng
Có.
mà
Tất cả đều có
rồi,
hết.
có rồi nhưng mà
Thế nó không nằm về cái phần mà của như anh Thanh đâu, tức là phần đấy nó thống kê đúng liên quan phân phí.
Thì có nghĩa là mình
mình
có phần thống kê, nhưng mà thống kê của mình là cho từng nhiệm vụ và nó phân mảnh ra.
Đúng rồi.
Từng thằng
Tức là
phân
vẫn
thống
có-
kê cho một nhiệm vụ riêng.
vẫn có, nhưng mà lại cậu không đúng. Nhưng
nó
mà
không
bây
phải là
giờ
gọi
ví dụ
tên
làm
là cái
một mục tiêu,
phòng giống như thầy bảo.
đúng là một cái KPI
Nó chỉ là một cái
Đúng
nhiệm vụ
rồi.
nó sẽ
trong
bị
cái phòng
link
đấy
đến ra,
thôi.
ví dụ như nó sẽ dịch một phần của luồng, dịch một phần của ATC thì khác.
Đúng rồi, mình sẽ không có phòng thống kê mà mình chỉ có các đơn vị thống kê thôi.
Đấy, giải thích với thầy.
Well, so
wait,
we,
just oh, you're good?
yeah.
Okay.
So I just like to make sure that I understand the correct information.
Yeah.
So our own KPI are metrics, but not all metrics are KPI, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good, very good. Yeah. Whoever is right or knows better, this was exactly what should go on back home. And just from this conversation, you can take that there are so many perspectives. Yeah. So the message I want to pass on is: go back home together and try to together understand what do we have. Yeah. For me today, it's not so important whether you have a statistic department or not, or whether everything is in or not, right?
Yeah.
The point is that you go home, that you understand what do we have and what can we build on. And again, sorry for being so, be careful in asking for more and more and more, yeah? Because it's a kind of start, yeah? So you have something, build on it. Be careful in defining KPIs, because you will ask these people to provide more information. And this information must be robust, not just once, right?
Yep.
It must be robust. I can ask every day, and they will provide every day the information, and it's verified. I can build on this information. So be careful, because it's a lot of effort. Yeah. Super. Yeah. But Lee, sorry, I didn't want to.
No.
But you see the point, huh?
Yeah.
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 Actually, it doesn't matter. Just go home and understand. What do we sit together? What do we have? I want to improve, as Mr. Hung. Yeah. This is one of my priorities. I want to improve the average delay per flight or movement. Yeah. So. And therefore, I need some numbers. I need to measure. So go. Can I have it? Yeah. Yes, you can. Perfect. Okay. Next KPI. I need this. Can I have it? Oh no, we don't have this. But it's an important KPI. What do we do about it? What can we do about it? Do you need help? What do you need in order to provide the information? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for this. This is good. I wanted to go just to provide an example that you find many things and some proposals as well, right? And no, please have this conversation. It's finished. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay. So this is very small. I choose the SBO KPI 01 because we were talking about aerodrome yesterday. No? No, not yesterday. Last week when Ms. Lin did the system performance assessment so well, and we were talking about aerodromes. And is it runway throughput or what is it, right? And so I choose this example. And now we just do the exercise, just to tell you, please use this portal. Yeah, register to this portal and just use it. It's really good. So I go to this link, and you can do the same when you get the presentation. Okay? I touch on it. Jetzt musst du mir mal helfen, weil ich mache das immer gerade. Ja. Jetzt muss ich irgendwie darüber gehen. Nee, jetzt muss ich die Präsentation beenden. Ja? Und dann hat er gemacht, oder nicht? Hier nochmal reinklicken. Jetzt habe ich es gemacht. Das geht. Und jetzt müsste ich eigentlich dahin kommen. Okay. Das klappt. Fantastisch. So. I just clicked on this link. The GAN portal opens. It leads me directly to KPI. I choose KPI 01. And I want to focus on departure functionality. Why did I choose this KPI? Because you told me that there is a huge challenge you face with the new airport in Hanoi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that for the time being there is no really conversation about the CONOPS of the future for both or the individual airports in terms of, right, who will be the traffic organized, and there might be one thing which could be of interest, yeah, to understand if I should serve 50 million passengers per year as of 2030. These passengers will be super happy when they will be allowed to depart in time. Mm-hmm. And depart in time, the departure, this is something you have a big influence on. You have just a little influence on arrival because there could be something en route. You have no influence, right?
Yeah.
But if you focus on departure, this is a kind of quality. If I depart from Vietnam Hanoi Airport, I will be in time because they do their job so brilliantly. Yeah? This is a good thing. Could be nice for the future, could be a nice KPI to focus on. And you have a lot of influence. So therefore I choose it. And you will get everything you need. The definition, percent, I can make it a little bit bigger so you can read it. Like this, okay? Yeah? Okay.
We have it on screen too.
You have it, okay. You all have it on the screen?
Yeah.
You all?
Yeah.
Percentage of flights, right? So percentage is it's a ratio. It's not a total number. It's a ratio. Important. And then I think this is super interesting. Yeah. It suggests or proposes 4 variants. So, for example, Mr. Han, if I may ask, yeah, you said the target is less or equal 1.5 minutes.
Yeah. Now,
This one, right?
That's so equal. Yeah.
Okay. How did you come to this number? Why 1.5? Why not 1.6 or so?
After maybe collect data, the last data, and analyze it, and set that new target for maybe for next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sure it's very well based on a good analysis and whatever. So, and this is the point. It's like hammering in your. It must be achievable. Don't set targets you cannot achieve. You remember that? Yeah. You remember my example? I do a marathon in 2 hours. I don't do a marathon in 2 hours. Yeah, that's not a good target for me. Okay, yeah. It's not achievable. Yeah, and this is what I like. Okay, you can choose some variants, and I strongly recommend to be careful. Yeah, and perhaps it's better to go departures within plus minus 15 minutes of scheduled time. Right. It sounds a lot, but it's much more achievable. If you do better, you can, on your way, you can increase your target. You can, make it strong. Yeah. But this is just. You could also say, I choose variant 2B, but I don't take 15 minutes. I take 10 minutes to make it more challenging. Right? You can do that.
Okay.
But be careful. If you take 5 minutes, this is something. Yeah. 5 minutes is something. Here you have to coordinate very good with your airport operators. You should have an airport collaborative decision-making in place that allows you to come up with such a target. Okay. So, and if you go to all the KPIs, all the 23 KPIs, you will always find ideas how to do that, right? And also here you find excuse me, some help for your people. You find the formula, right? What should be in, what should be out, yeah? How to compute the KPI, everything is in there. And this makes your life much easier.
Number, total number. Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So this could be a good KPI when we talk about the master plan later on after a coffee break. Lee, right? Then we could develop an idea what could be a good KPI related to the priorities you have laid down in your master plan. And then you go back home and discuss with your people, do we have the data I need in order to compute the KPI and to have it in a report so that we can track, yeah? No?
We don't have any KPI in our master plan actually.
No, I'm not talking about the KPI, I'm talking about the priorities you set in your master plan.
KPI?
No, priority.
Only priorities. So when you go to your master plan, there is something in like, we want to do this, or we want to achieve that, right? What?
We separate our master plan into some stage, some period of time, and for each period of time, we don't prioritize any objective.
So in VNANP master plan, we have it's like similar like that KPI, because that's we would like to focus some ASBO element, and then we divide the period to implementation. If we have the first priorities that we must to do in the first period.
Yeah, so we just divide into period, and in that period we don't, within a period we don't prioritize anything.
Okay, shall we look at it? Yeah?
Yeah, but I don't have. I still don't have the translation here.
Directly translate.
Không dịch được.
Yeah, but actually, perhaps you do not need a translation. Perhaps you can do it on a flip chart.
Vâng, cho đây cho dịch.
Yeah. So actually, the idea was now to make a short coffee break and then to do the exercise, right?
Yeah, right.
So this was the idea, but it will be of much more benefit if we can focus on at least the number of topics you have in your master plan, right?
Yeah, right.
Because if you are asked to come home and to develop KPIs, they must be relevant. And they will be relevant if you can link them to whatever you have in your plan, right?
Yeah.
So this is the idea. And if you don't have a prioritization in your plan, that doesn't matter. Yeah? Let's go through it and understand what could be. Yeah? What could be a good area or a good activity you have in your master plan you could link a KPI to. Yeah? Hopefully I did understand your homework right. Yeah?
Yeah, yeah. Well, so yeah, we can link the. But I think that at the moment our KPI, like, I don't know if our the whole system, everyone understands that the KPI must link to the master plan or not, or just KPI to improve some, to measure something and to improve something.
Okay,
So
that's very good.
We lost in defining our objective because our VN-ANP, our Vietnamese ANP, actually we also don't build the ANP based on the vision, mission, and the knowledge and the objective.
Mm-hmm.
We just set the objective to cover the plan.
Yeah, that's very good. So, so DFS has a roadmap and master plan, and not every activity is linked to a KPI, of course, because it's such a document. Yeah. Or if you go to Europe, the ESIP or LSIP, you cannot link a KPI to every of these activities. This is stupid, of course. Yeah. But like Mr. Hang just did, obviously, there are already some targets. Yeah. So we can do it this way. We do not necessarily have to focus on or to orient on the master plan, but we could split in 2 or 3 groups like you want, and to understand what are the challenges VATM is facing, and where do we want to improve. Yeah? And then we develop KPIs for this area and discuss it. Yeah? And if there is a chance to link it to activities in the master plan, that's nice. That will help to convince your government, your management, that this is the right way to do, because this will be in support of all the activities will support this performance improvement.
Yeah, all right.
No, please don't say all right if it's not all right. It must be all right, right? Yeah? So again, the idea is, in the master plan, yeah, I don't know your master plan, but in the master plan there are a huge number of activities.
Yeah, correct.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so why do you do that? Why do you plan and invest in all these activities?
Because we want to implement the initiative that was written in the GAN and the Simlis master plan, and our main objective is just to follow the regional plan. So whatever in the regional plan, we think that is a must, and we implement it.
Okay, so this is good. That tells me that all activities which are in the master plan are in support of the implementation of an ASBU element.
Yeah.
Okay? The ASBU elements are focusing on performance increase, on performance improvements.
Yeah.
Okay? All the performance improvements, we have it in the count, yeah?
Yeah.
Can be linked with the KPI.
Yeah.
Okay. So, am I right in assuming that all the activities in your master plan are clustered?
Yeah.
Of course, they're
Yes.
clustered, right? You do hit them well, so they're clustered. So here we do have the areas. Yeah. Perhaps we can derive from your master plan again. Yeah. You have this activity cluster. This cluster is in support of one or two
So
ASCII
that,
threads.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's the problem. For example, the cluster, like we understand the cluster in our master plan as a block. No, not as a block, but as a thread in the ASCII. For example, we have. So that's why, for example, like Miss Bach, she want to ask about the KPI in AIS because we have a cluster in our master plan about AIM, right? So like we actually we just follow that what is written in the GAN and ASCII without like knowing like what kind of cluster we should
Thank you.
focus on.
This is so helpful. So we could have a first working group
Yeah.
that focuses on this cluster, AIM or AIS, and let's develop a KPI for this cluster. Shall we call it cluster?
Yeah. Or maybe it's thread or maybe a thread.
So in
or maybe a
ASCII
cluster.
terminology, we would say module.
Yeah.
Now, normally we say module, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Model.
Yeah, but I'm not sure whether you have it in defined in your master plan as such. But it doesn't matter actually. So it's a group of activities, right?
Yeah.
It's a group of activities. Okay, we could choose this one. Yeah, we can take this one. How you would call this, Ms. Bach? What is the name of this?
Of the thread in VNANP or
No. It's not a test. The test is on Wednesday. So it's
no?
it's what Mr. Lee was talking about. So this this module, this cluster. How shall we call that?
So
Modern.
in VNANP we have just like we have a part like DAM,
DAM is in ASCII thread, right?
but in VNANP we call that Aeronautical Information Management AM.
Like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, let's call it a group or cluster or something like this. This is the area, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we develop and discuss KPIs, metrics for this area?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Let's cover the.
Okay, this is number one.
Yeah.
Team one.
Ooh.
Okay, very good.
And then.
So I think there is more, right? So we do not have to do 12 things here now. We can do 3 today, 3 tomorrow, something like this, yeah? So what could be another one?
ATM.
ATM?
Yeah.
This is a huge area, right?
No, actually, in our master plan, we divide the service like into 5 main service.
Perfect.
ATS, right? No.
ATM.
No, we have.
The first one we have AOP, airport operator, airport operation. The second one is ATM.
Yeah.
The
Correct.
The
ATM.
third is AA.
You're
Yeah.
too fast for me now. You're so strong, and I'm too slow. So what would be the second one?
Second one is ATM.
ATM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So air traffic management.
Yeah.
That's something, okay. ATM.
So actually, I have at least.
This is team 2. Okay, another one?
We also have CNET.
Before CNF, we have the civil military cooperation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we take CNS.
Yeah, probably CNS.
This is team 3. Zit er morgen ook hier morgen? Another one?
Yes.
AIM.
Yeah.
we do
already
AIM, we
have.
already have.
Team 1.
And MET.
Met.
Met?
Yeah. Team 1.
Tomorrow.
Search and rescue.
Search and rescue. Yeah.
Search and rescue.
Search and rescue.
Yeah, search.
search and rescue.
You are responsible for search and rescue as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you?
No, we are not
for-
responsible. No, we are not responsible
coordination.
body.
Coordination.
We are coordinating body.
Coordinating body.
Yeah.
So you deal with distress messages and things like that. Right?
Yeah.
So
Correct.
And
But
it-
we also, well, it's quite funny. We are not only provide the alerting service, but we also have our own search and rescue workforce. So, but that workforce is not doing the search and rescue on their own, but they are like helping the search and rescue body from the government to do some activities, to do search and rescue activities. Yeah, I know that's
it's interesting. But it's
yeah,
historically
that's
built. So-
interesting.
Yeah.
So because as you see that there's like application in the organization
Yeah.
that we are having like search and rescue workforce, and we have to invest in equipment and instrument to do the search and rescue when actually we don't do it individually. So that's why, well, it's quite controversial in our Ministry of Construction recently about our role in search and rescue.
Perhaps it would be a good idea not to define a KPI for that. Yeah. But just to understand, I am ought to introduce or to implement whatever it is, some infrastructure or whatever it is, right? Yeah. So then we could just say, I am asked to introduce this and that in time, and then you just check, done, 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 done. This is not a KPI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll check this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So you monitor the progress of the requested implementation, and you report regularly on done, 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 done. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not linked to a performance improvement. Nothing. It's just I did it as you asked me to do. So this is okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
This is part of the story as well here as well. But there is airport operators, right? So you are
Yeah.
responsible for airport airside or airport airside and landside. Both.
Well, actually, for airport operator, we are not responsible for any like for the airport land side.
Only airside.
Only a part of the airside. Like no, only the airside.
Airside.
Actually, yeah, only
So
the airside.
You don't do apron control.
No. No. We still do. We still do. We do the ground control and up to the gate. So from the gate to the terminal is not our responsibility.
From the gate to the terminal, it's not your responsibility.
No.
It's the airport operator.
Yeah. But we are doing the ground control.
But startup, pushback, this is all you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
We give-
taxi,
Yeah.
apron, and then cross the line, go airside.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Shall we put this as well? So, because you are facing challenges with airports, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So airport or aerodrome, or how do you call it? Or airport operation?
We call it airport operation.
Yeah.
AOP. Yeah.
You have that, yeah. Airport operation.
Yeah. We have it in our master plan.
Cái IOP đấy của cái AOP giống của cảng hơn. Toàn
Nhưng mà
những
mình vẫn
cái
cái tượng
về
ngày xưa của cảng đấy hỏi bạn biết đâu thì
ý là mình xây cái KPI chỗ này sẽ hơi khó một tí thôi.
Nhưng mà mình vẫn có cái gì sắp xếp thứ tự được các hạ cánh
Can
vẫn
we
có.
have a team to go through the safety?
I was waiting for you.
Because in VNANB we don't have a separate module for safety, but I think safety is a very important part. So I think, yeah.
You want to call it safety and security or safety only?
Safety and security, okay, but safety first. Because all for safety.
Sao mình không có safety ở trong
Không
mình
phải.
có kế hoạch an toàn riêng mà.
Mình có một cái kế hoạch an toàn riêng, và cái thứ hai, cái safety ở trong VNAP nó bị lẩn trong những cái mục khác nữa ấy, chứ nó không phải tách một mục riêng.
Tất cả là đều
Là phục vụ safety cả.
là nó không tách ra thành cái chỉ là riêng trong an toàn. Tất cả
Mình có một
đấy là
mình có một
cái kết quả cuối cùng.
kế hoạch an toàn riêng.
So we already have 6 areas, right? So we have aeronautical information management. This is a huge area as well. So it will be interesting to see how you approach it using the GAMP, right? The threat, DAIM, what is in there, yeah? And whether there is a GAMP KPI, or I should go with, as we had this small conversation, customer satisfaction index, right? We'll come to it later, right? I have prepared some slides for you to understand what is the CSI, what is the CSI score, and so on. I have prepared something.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
So this is very helpful, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Then we do have ATM, air traffic management. This is a huge area as well. We really need to focus on most important topics. So what are your challenges, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
CNS, huge.
Another huge. Yeah.
Huge, yeah. It's the foundation.
So
here we can, excuse me, Mr.
It's like the ATM content item. Maybe it's cover all CNS, ATM,
No.
Use ATM.
In our master plan, ATM is a separate part. I know that ATM includes CNS, but
so could we may define the more detailed than lower than ATM level, like capacity or spatial utilization?
That's a very, very important input. Thank you very much, Mr. Yeah, this is so important because it helps to more focus, right? ATM actually is very broad, and I just said, whoa, this is a huge area. I don't want to interfere with your definition. If you go into the global definition of what is ATS, what is ATM, what in terms of safety, what is a functional system, what does the functional system include if you want to make a change. So there are global definitions, right?
yeah.
And we can spend a day on that if you want to. Okay. But the point is you should have a common understanding. Good enough, right? So everyone should understand. But I like the idea. If you can focus a little bit more, yeah, it makes your work more easy. Yeah. Do you have an idea, or will you do it as a work group then? ATM is huge, huh?
But actually, yeah. I don't.
Thế không thì để một cái to xong đến lúc mà làm KPI mình chỉ đứng làm mình chỉ trồng một trong những cái nhỏ trong đấy thôi. Sẽ chia là 6 nội dung. Chia thành 3 nhóm.
Cái avatar của anh Thanh là đúng không? Avatar là anh Thanh làm đúng không?
Avatar là Khánh. Nếu một
But
cái ATM nó to, mình có thể chia ngày đầu là cái này, ngày sau là cái khác cũng được.
Okay. So you do not necessarily have to agree now on something, but the work group is invited to come up with an idea. So once you stand in front of the flip chart, you will think, okay, we should look here and look there, and then we will get a clear picture. And as we always do, this work group afterwards present their elaboration to the group. And the group never criticizes. The group just is very constructive, looks at it and said, have you thought, I would think about this as well, or why this, and something like this. Okay, we will have a small conversation, and then we will complement the picture. Okay, and we can then we listen this afternoon. We listen to Christoph, a fellow guy. So we have another benchmark, and tomorrow morning we can go back and say, okay, what have we heard, and is there something we should maybe adapt or so? Yeah. So this is the idea of this course now. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. So we grow together. Okay. CNS is very interesting as well. CNS, yeah. There are important performance indicators, right? Whether it's a key performance indicator or performance indicator, but there should be something for CNS. It could be as Mr. Lee told us, you have to implement some things, right? Then it's just implementation. Yeah. There are performance areas like availability, number of outages, right? Or maybe differentiated outages with an impact on operations, outages with no impact on the facility. There is something, okay? And Ms. Kraft tomorrow is invited to speak about safety and occurrence management. And occurrence management will deal with occurrences from operations in terms of runway incursions, safety minima, infringements, whatever, but also about ATM-specific occurrences, which deals with outages or insufficient availabilities and something like this. This could be interesting. Things. We do have MET. Are you the MET provider? Do you provide MET information?
Yeah, we do.
You do?
Yeah.
So, and there is something in the master plan that you should implement, improve, something like this. Very good. So you can put it down and then we discuss whether there is, okay, very good. Wonderful. Airport ops, we had a lot of conversation, therefore I choose this one, right? The 01, okay. We have safety. Is there something else you want to look at? Something else?
Thêm cái gì nữa không?
Thôi vậy thôi.
3 group ấy.
You said you have 5. We already have 6 here.
Collaborative, separation collaborative system.
Mình có một cái trong master plan của mình. In our master plan is there's another part named military and civil military collaboration cooperation. But I don't think that we can set any KPI for that.
Because it's difficult, so I would like to maybe make presentation here and we can learn experience from you.
So you like to bring in civil military cooperation?
Because yes.
Of course. It's so beneficial. Yeah, yeah. And you can set an indicator. Yeah. Yeah.
What
Good
can we
thing.
do with
Yeah,
that?
let's take.
Jatovic, you are leader of Jatovic, Osman.
Yes, sir.
You are the leader of Jatovic. Leader of group.
No, I'm your servant.
Because it's so difficult for us.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
But you are the leader. I may be your servant. Okay? To be defined. Okay. Good enough, right? Or something else that comes across your mind immediately? Otherwise we could break for a coffee break or a cigarette, then we start. Yeah? And we continue in the late afternoon or in the morning, yeah? Okay? Good?
All right.
Okay. Mr. Lee is my anchor with the master plan, and for whatever reason, I got a feeling that I want to make Mr. Lee happy, because he is so busy, he has so much on his mind, right? And therefore I always look at you. Are we on the good track? Is all good?
Yeah, well, we are on the good track here for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's break for, let's say, 10 minutes or something like this, and we spread them in.